Hello, I'm Linda Kelly. Norma Lee is on assignment. A storm of controversy has erupted over the presence of a St.FX political science professor at an anti-Semitic conference in Tehran this week. Shiraz Dossa presented a paper to the controversial conference on Monday. Today, both his bosses at the university and the Atlantic Jewish Council are calling his appearance in Iran a grave lapse in judgment. The story from the CBC's Dan O'Connell.
The conference was hosted by Iran's notoriously anti-Semitic president and featured such speakers as former Ku Klux Klan leader David Duke. Also on hand, St.FX political science professor Shiraz Dossa at the conference without advising his department head where he was going or why.
I'm very surprised and shocked and disappointed.
Professor Yvon Grenier says Dossa should have known the conference would be attended by people who deny the Holocaust.
And I'm very stunned, in fact, that anybody could entertain the idea that this was a scholarly event. None of the scholars on the Holocaust were invited. Only hate mongers and lunatics really were invited.
St.FX has a strong reputation around the world, especially for its efforts in international economic development.
I'm really deeply troubled by it.
St.FX President Sean Riley says Dossa shouldn't have been there.
Why would we want to give even a shred of credibility to this particular conference at this particular time with the people attending from organizations as abhorrent as the Ku Klux Klan?
And at the Atlantic Jewish Conference, Executive Director John Goldberg wonders what Dossa was thinking.
So if you look at the roster of people that were going there, David Duke and other known anti-Semites and hate mongers, I mean, I don't know what he thought he was going into.
On the website ratemyprofessor.com, Dossa came up for a fair amount of criticism, like, we were supposed to study Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, and the like, but instead we watched The Daily Show and listened to him rail against all his various hatreds. Dossa's trip to Tehran was paid for by conference organizers. And as he has Iranian roots on one side of his family, he'll spend the next week touring ancestral landmarks with his young daughter. Dan O'Connell, CBC News, Halifax.
Show me. I'm Rob Gordon. Helena Jochel has a permanent reminder that the Holocaust happened. It's the tattoo the Nazi SS gave her when she arrived at the Auschwitz death camp.
The number is 16,505. It is deeply tragic. It is something which you never forget.
Helena Jochel's life story is a testament to the power of evil and the reality of the Holocaust.
My God, they killed my wonderful mother in the Holocaust. They killed my brother, a Czech journalist. They killed my sister with her little daughter.
In 1944, then 18-year-old Helena was shipped in a cattle car to the Auschwitz death camp. She lived through Hitler's final solution, lived and swore to never forget. She says a Nova Scotia University professor was wrong to take part in a Holocaust review conference in Iran.
I condemn him. He shouldn't have been allowed to go. As a professor, he shows his pupils, a bad example.
Helena Jochel has one message she wants people to understand. It's a message she says can't be forgotten.
If it happened to the Jews, it can happen to other people too.
So, Rob, I assume this isn't the first time Helena Jochel has had to deal with the idea the Holocaust didn't happen.
That's right, Linda. It's actually been a lifelong struggle for her. It's come up many times over the past 60 years, and every time it does, she's willing to fight back and tell her story to a new generation.
The CBC's Rob Gordon in Halifax.